I think having a little delusion in terms of believing in yourself is extraordinarily important when it comes to doing things um, that you really want to achieve. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chronicles. I believe it's episode 18, man. Getting up there. I know I mention the numbers every single time I get on these podcasts, but I got to for my own reassurance that I keep getting these podcasts out every week. I'm proud of myself for that, but I hope you all are enjoying the episodes. I'm trying to make them better every single time, man. Speaking of that, last week, if you haven't seen last week's episode, definitely probably one of my best podcasts yet. Um, just a lot to learn in that podcast. And I think that you benefit from listening to it, or at least be interested in listening to the story of Dr. Marcus Collins. So definitely go check that episode out if you're interested in it. You haven't already watched it, but yeah, this is a podcast week where I am by myself. I don't have a guest. Just chilling. As y'all know that truly support me, that be watching these personal podcasts. I always do a life update or a life recap at the beginning. Not much to recap on, really. I was a lot to recap on and not much to recap on is at all at once. Like projects that I'm working on that I don't necessarily want to let you all know on yet. So that's those are moving, which is cool to see because they're finally moving. Some things that I've been working on. Um, but yeah. So getting into the life recap, been working a lot. What's new? I'm always working. Just working a lot just to try to get some money in my pocket to pay for some of the things, some of the amenities that I want to have going into this next year of college. As you know, or maybe you don't know, I took a semester off of college just to kind of get some money in my pocket, but to also focus on YouTube and do some of that and to try to kind of grow that as a career. I ended up, I never decided to drop out, but I am going back to college here in the fall, and I plan to kind of go right through and graduate at the same date that I was originally supposed to graduate, which means that I have to be working, not working. I have to be taking school until, or in school from, August 24th, 23rd of this year till 2023 spring, basically school all day, every day. So I'm ready for that. But I'm easing back into the semester with 12 credits. So I'm kind of chilling for this first semester. Just really want to push hard with YouTube. Um, I really want to push hard with YouTube that semester, this coming semester. So you got to see a lot of projects from me, and hopefully I can get way better at my time management and realize exactly the amount of content that I can actually put out. Um, when I am going to be taking like an 18 credit semester, like getting in the habit of doing certain things so that even when I am taking a lot more, um, uh, a bigger course load, I am able to still either give you, know my limits in terms of content and then give you that content on all of my multiple different channels. That might be a slower rate, but at least I know, what kind of content I can create, what kind of content people are interested in, and also what kind of content I can push myself to create in terms of my time schedule. But yeah, I'm excited to go back. I'm at Penn State University for anybody that didn't know, but most of you are watching already know that. But yeah, like I said, I've been working a lot, just trying to pay for some stuff that I want. I would be having an apartment up there. Um, I was talking last episode about the car, trying to finalize that. That'll be pretty cool. Might do a vlog of getting that. I was thinking, I just be thinking too much, man. That was at the quote of the day. I'd be thinking too much. I'd be like, I don't really want to vlog me getting a car because then people would like think of it as, bragging. And I'm like, no, bro. They just have the wrong mindset of it. Like, I'm just trying to, kind of, I don't know, give y'all insight into my life. I think it's pretty cool. I think the car that I am getting is going to be pretty cool. So I just want to share it with you all. And I think if I have the right intention, that's all that matters, right? If somebody else takes it a different way, that's on them. I can't, that's not my intention to brag and show off. Um, well, maybe to show off a little bit. Yeah, I am proud of it, so I want to show it to other people. But I think you all will like it if I do a vlog about it. But yeah, I think something to be coming for that. Be on the lookout. You know, got some plans up there. Um, what else? What else? What else? Oh, my content for my KX channel. I know, if you do watch these podcasts and you also are subscribed to my KX Gaming channel, I do have a KX Gaming channel for any of you all that don't know that, but I'm pretty sure most of the people watching this do. Um, I have a KX gaming channel. It's a gaming channel. That's what it's called. It's a gaming channel where I play Call of Duty, GTA, other little small indie games. Um, big I would say big gamer. I haven't been in the last couple months because I've been working so much, but definitely enjoy playing video games. Check that out if you want. In terms of that content, I have kind of pulled back from that content because I can't be consistent with the content right now. I know it's been like 80 days, almost maybe 90 days, maybe 3 months since I posted a video last on that channel. I have been streaming pretty consistently, in the recent months, not in this last month though. So I do plan on getting back to those streams, not necessarily 6 days a week, um, because it's going to be hard to do that with school coming up. But I do want to get on a consistent schedule with streaming where I'm not missing a stream, which I have done before, but I've kind of done it in like 3 month periods, and then I kind of disappear. So I want to get back on that when I know that I can be consistent to that, as well as getting you at least one video a week on each of the channels that I have. So um, yeah, that's my goal. I'm working towards it. Know that I'm behind the scenes. For you all that have truly been waiting for these videos, 29 and 6, excuse me. You know what that is. That video is coming by July 30th. I'm not saying it's gonna be, on. It's not. It doesn't have to come out July 30th. Meaning like that late. It could come out anytime in July. But by July 30th, I promise that that video will be out. It is a banger of a video. I'm actually almost done with it. But I wanna put the finishing touches on it, and I'm waiting for some people to get back to me about some parts that I wanna put in the video. So, that video will be done by July 30th. This has been a long-awaited video. Worked hard on it. I hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know, maybe check out the channel, KX Gaming. But, yeah, that's the life recap. I got some pretty cool things that are coming up that'll be in the next life recap, which will be in 2 weeks. But hopefully I can get some of the guests that I want on the show next week and the 2 weeks from next week um, for the guests of July. What we have two guests every month, and I try to um, kind of one up, not one up. I just try to have interesting people on the podcast that you might be interested in hearing their story and they might have value to share to you as content creators and just as regular people trying to make it in this life. So I hope you have been enjoying the guests, and I hope you've been enjoying the personal podcast too, because I kind of do enjoy it. It's kind of like talking, even though I'm talking to a camera, I definitely feel like I'm talking to an audience. I feel like I'm talking to people, especially when you all respond and DM me about stuff on the podcast. Really appreciate that y'all watch all the way through. That means a lot. But going into the next segment, I know in the last personal podcast, I said that I was going to add this segment. I want to keep this segment. I want to have my life recap, as the first segment for my personal podcast. The second segment, I want to add content piece of the week. So just a piece of content that I'll basically pick out every 2 weeks that I think is you should go check out, or I think would be cool for a certain audience, and I'll just kind of let you know and check it out if you are interested. And then obviously we're still going to keep our topics, just things that I come up with that I want to talk about on the podcast, or have heard on other podcasts and have something to add, or maybe thought would be interesting to debate or discuss with you all. And then, of course, my CCC Cam cheat code of the week. So yeah, those would be the four. What is it called? I just forgot. Elements, segments, segments of the podcast, our personal podcast, and then I'll be working on structuring a little bit more of the other podcasts when I have guests. But I don't really want to structure that too much. I do want that. I want the beginning of that to be a little bit structured, and then the end, of course, with Cam Chronicle or Cam cheat codes. But I want that to be pretty free flowing and open as it has been in the past, because I think people enjoy that content style and really enjoy the conversation that comes out of that kind of style of a podcast. So I want to keep it that way. But yeah, so for content piece of the week, I actually have been watching a series on Netflix called, not a series, it's just like a TV show, um, that's called Kim's Convenience. This is kind of a fun one. So, some of these content pieces of the week will be like, super fun TV shows or a movie that I saw and laughed at or thought was good, or it'll be something more serious, like a motivational piece that I thought like really changed my perspective, or like an informational piece, to help you with finance or other things in life. But this one is going to be kind of a fun one. I've been watching this like sitcom, I guess. I don't even know what the word sitcom means, but I think it's a sitcom called Kim's Convenience. It's about this Korean family that owns a little convenience shop. And yeah, it's just all like comedy. And it's very simple, but I definitely found myself laughing at it. And I am just pretty interested in that humor. So if you watch the first couple episodes and you find yourself laughing at a couple of the jokes, you'll definitely enjoy the series. I think it's like 5 seasons, but if you're into it, those will go by fast. I think I'm only in the 2nd season. Don't have a lot of time to just be watching it, but when I definitely took, like I kinda binged at night, I watched, like, 4 or 5 hours of it, but 30-minute episodes, super short, um, something to check out. If you're interested, I'll put it on the screen so you know exactly what it looks like, or maybe not, because maybe I'm too tired to editing. I can tell you I did not wanna record this podcast just because I don't know, I'm tired. It's July 4th. I am recording this on the Sunday that I'm supposed to put it out. Shame on me. I know, but gotta keep moving. So I'm getting it out. Um, but yeah, that's content piece of the week. Let me know if you've heard of it before, if you watched it, or if you're gonna check it out, or what you thought after you checked it out. But moving into our topics, this is gonna be, I believe, this podcast might be titled something like inspiration, or I don't know, something like that. Because I feel like this would be kind of inspirational. It is gonna be a shorter episode. I know these episodes are usually like 30 minutes long. So it's either gonna be less than 30 minutes long or exactly 30 minutes. So that's about the usual, but I just didn't want anybody to be disappointed, this far and to be expecting an hour. Obviously, once you clicked on it, you already knew the length of the video. But anyway, moving on. I'm rambling to the first topic of the week. First topic of the week is having a healthy sense of delusion. This is something that I heard um heard on a podcast. What's new? I heard on a podcast. It was the Impulsive podcast hosted by Logan Paul, Mike Malak, and George Janko. Um, and he was talking about how his fight, if you haven't heard about the fight with Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather, they recently fought in the last month, and that was a huge thing because Floyd didn't come out of retirement for anybody but this random YouTube sensation, and people are marveling at how that actually was possible. But Logan was speaking about how people were saying, when he actually was talking about doing this fight and it was becoming reality, and people were kind of posting fake flyers about the fight and saying that it might happen, it may not happen. He had people reach out to him, saying that like, "You can't do this. What are you doing with your life? You're delusional." And that got him into talking about having a healthy sense of this delusion, not disillusionment, delusion, um, in believing in yourself, but also the fact that you can't, that you're going to do something 100%, that you're going to give it your all, and that you're just not going to, you're going to be practical enough to, make sure that you're still in good health. Obviously, you're going to be mindful of things, but not letting that negative energy touch you when it comes to something that other people deem impossible. And it's funny because these topics I have kind of like line up. And coincide with each other, and kinda, what is the word called? Um, what is the word called? Overlap. Overlap with each other. So I might be moving through, 2 or 3 different topics, but, um, I thought this was a really cool point because I feel that that is a I think having a little delusion in terms of believing in yourself is extraordinarily important when it comes to doing things um, that you really want to achieve and that may not be um, kind of susceptible to other people's reality. if you want to, like, if you told me to, that your dream job was to work at Walmart, I'm not gonna have a doubt in my mind that you can get a job at Walmart, It's not I'm not gonna say, anything about, "You can't do that, you can't achieve this." Um, but if you say, "Hey, I wanna be the first man to fly," I'm gonna have every doubt in my mind, or I'm at least gonna be like, "Bro, that's not possible. How are you gonna do that? What is your plan?" Whatever it is. And when you're in content creation, making a name for yourself in content creation is more accessible than it has been in the past. The most accessible, than it ever has been, but it's still a very hard thing to do when tons and tons of people are trying to do it. It is a saturated market, quote unquote, um, but not really. If you're finding your niche and you're creating different content, um, than other people, or finding, a niche that is other people have, but adding something to that niche, that's your specialty, um, that your skills can provide, um, information and, entertainment, or, just, other ideas to other people. Um, when you're in this space and people tell you that you cannot, you tell them your goals, you're like, okay, I want to reach this amount. This is what I want to do with the platform. It's not even about reaching this amount of subscribers. It's about, what is the end goal in terms of the people that you want to reach? What is the end goal in terms of what the content that you actually want to create? And that's how I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm like, well, I want to get to this point where I'm working with this person. I want to create something, with, this famous person. Um, and to me, this goes right into the next point. I don't believe that I can fail at it. And I want to preface that when I say I don't believe that I can fail at it, it doesn't mean that, number one, that I'm not taking into account reality, that, real life is life and it's gonna throw you curveballs, and that I need to have a plan. I have to figure things out, and things aren't gonna work according to plan. That goes to show, as like a direct correlation to the podcast before that, that things do not go according to plan, but sometimes they can actually end up way better than the plan you actually had in your head. Um, but number two, it's that even though I don't believe that I can fail, it doesn't mean that I don't often have doubts and don't often get down on myself, because I definitely, I just want to be open with that, because I know there's a lot of people that, preach, you can't believe that you can fail. And, the thing I just talked about with the healthy sense of delusionment, and in saying that anything is possible, it kind of comes off that, like, they're just the most motivated person. Um, ever. And it's kinda disheartening to me, because I'm like, "Bro, I'm not motivated like that." Like, I'm motivated, but I'm not motivated 100% of the time. Man, all of these topics are coming. That's, like, the next topic, but I wanna stay on this. I don't believe I can fail. Um, I just wanted to preface that, because it just seems, you can't get that reality from um a motivational video like that is just saying, "Get up, do this, eat right," all these things, and it's like, yo, that sounds great. It gets you energetic for the short term. It gets you very energetic for the short term. Those, you ever seen those TikToks, that say, that, the FBI agent watching me at 3 a.m. in the morning, watching a YouTube video saying I'm gonna turn my life around. Start doing push-ups at 3 a.m. in the morning, saying I'm about to get ripped, saying I'm about to have a six pack, saying I'm about to, do X, Y, and Z with my career. Um, and you're only motivated, for that day, or for that week, or maybe for that month if you're lucky. And then it's like, ah, I'm stuck again, or I don't really see the vision. And I think that one of the things that I do well, even when which it feels like I'm knocked down every day sometimes at this point, but even when I am knocked down, and I am thinking like, bro, this is not gonna work out. This is not gonna work out. This isn't working out. I can't get this. I still, at the end of the day, after I kinda let that, state of mind wear off a little bit, over the night, maybe it takes some sleep, found that's like a really good a really good thing to just do if you got too much stuff, too much anxiety, just sleep it off. I know it's like the most basic tip, but still, I haven't done that in the past, and just going to sleep and then just revisiting the situation actually can help a lot. Anyway, um, I feel that at the end of the day, I still believe that what I am trying to do is possible. The people that, no matter if it's reaching one person or 0.001 one person, based on the days, you know, um, I feel that what I'm trying to accomplish and my goal in this Camp Chronicles, to show, the real building of, or the full process of building a brand on social media, um, and the gaming process, kind of becoming a influencer in gaming, um, just having fun, not being, the scumps of the world, a professional esport player. Um, I believe that that dream is possible, and I believe that it's possible, not just for me, but for other people. And it's not something that I can tell you, um, but it's not something that you have to innately have. I know there's a lot of people that are like, okay, you have to, you just have to have that gene, and it's like maybe you got to have that to be an NBA player. Sure, NFL player, MLB player. Maybe you got to have that, X factor gene, that just allows you to, shoot the ball like crazy, throw the ball like crazy, or, you know, um, hit the ball like crazy. But I feel that it can be trained. And how I feel like that can be trained is um, doing small things every day, building habits that, um, you continually do every single day that chip away at the block that is success. And I was just telling one of my friends, recently that, I asked something that I kind of learned and have been doing indirectly, but somebody had to put it into wording, for me. And I was telling him, he was kind of struggling, with the mental and creating content, not being motivated. And I was telling him to do that, but it may not seem like it makes a difference, but it really does over time for sure. It's just like, um, what is it called? I swear I forget things like in the middle of my sentences. Exp not it's just like, what am I trying to think of? I'm trying to think of a money term and I literally am blanking on it. But basically exponential growth, it's exponential growth. It's very, if you think of an exponential chart, starts off looking basically like a flat line. And that line could be, months, that line could be years, but in the long run, it's going up at a much faster rate over those years, or months or what days or whatever it is. That you just can't see it. You're in the line of the exponential graph, and you can't see the actual success that's, there for you. And I don't know, man. I don't want to sound like a cliche, um, motivational speaker when I say that. So I do want to say that I also believe that it is fully possible to not achieve certain things. I'm not saying that this is 100% that you're going to reach the outcome that you have. I'm just saying that these things have helped me thus far, and that if you are interested, I would recommend you try them, and see what works for you. Not everything that works for me isn't going to work for you, but just advice for someone that has come this far. I haven't come very far, but this far, um, that I think could be useful. Um, and I was gonna say something else on that, but I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, I'll just keep that. But anyway, the third topic, is kind of relates to what I was just talking about it, but you can't rely 100% on motivation. Motivation, I see, full disclosure, I saw this like on a TikTok or something, um, and this guy was talking about how he got where he was. Everybody says you have to be so motivated to actually, achieve, what he achieved, right? And I forgot what it was, successful businessman, whatever he did, in his life. And he was just saying that, you know, he wasn't motivated 60% of the time that he was building this. And that there were so many days that he wanted to give up or that he just had to get through the next through to the next day. Um, and that goes back to, the habits that we talked about, building those small habits and doing them regardless of how you feel. Just do them before you go to sleep. Do them, have a checklist, even if it's two goals, um, eating a healthy breakfast and doing 20 push-ups. If those are your goals, do those things. If it's post a TikTok clip, every single day, to gain exposure for your business, do that. Whatever it is, it can be small things. But he was saying that the he continued to put in the groundwork when he wasn't motivated. And even when he was motivated, he put in that same groundwork and just did a little bit more. He didn't want to get too involved and burn himself out, and I think that's something I have to work on 100%. I get motivated, I want to do stuff, I take on a lot of responsibility. I calculate numbers for months in advance, like I'm going to be a robot and consistently perform for those many months. It's just not that's just not reality, you know. And so he was just saying that I put in the work that I need to put in, and even when I was motivated, I only put in a little bit more work. I didn't get burned out. But the whole thing is that you aren't motivated every single day, and it's not going to be and it's not 100% what makes you successful. Of course, you do have to have a little bit of motivation, a little bit of drive, but it's really about putting in that groundwork. And I want to. It's not a perfect quote, but this has become one of my favorite quotes um, in life. But it was from Kevin Hart, and he said it on a Joe Rogan podcast, which I definitely advise you to listen to. I mean, Joe Rogan podcast is great, but specifically Kevin Hart's. I think he has two Joe Rogan podcasts. Definitely go listen. They're a long listen, like probably 3 hours each. But man, his story and just his work ethic and the things that he does, crazy things. Anyway, he talked about the fact that you have to be willing to put in the work every single day and see no progress. Put in the work every single day, see no progress, and do it again the next day. And I think that has become one of my favorite quotes. Do I do that and do I have that mindset all the time? No. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, yo, I'm taking the day off. I'm not seeing any progress. And I think that's something I most definitely have to work on. I'm not anywhere close to this, but I'm just trying to share knowledge that I've kind of gained listening to podcasts um, and listening to other people that have accomplished a lot of stuff and sharing it with you all because I think you could um, maybe you'll benefit from it. Hopefully you will. Um, but yeah, that's my little motivation for you. I believe that I'm a strong believer in not giving up in your dreams. Um, I understand that they're not always going to work out, maybe the way that you have it in your head. But I do believe that you can achieve some degree of success to whatever it is that you want to do. And, maybe that degree of success is 100%, but maybe that degree of success is 40%. But I know that if I were to achieve 40% of the success that I want for this career, um, I'd be really happy. And I know that I would have impacted a lot of people, which is the main purpose. That's why I'm doing it for those people that do gain, um, do gain from the things that I put out, that laugh at the things that I can put out, and can also become friends. From just watching my content, which is just the awesome part. Is the awesome part of the internet. There's a lot of bad things in the internet, but that is originally what social media and things like this were um, introduced for to connect people and to grow those relationships. So having formed those relationships with people that I don't know in different countries, even through my streams, on my gaming channel, it's just um, is a huge benefit and just something that's really cool. For the Cam cheat code of the week. The Cam cheat code of the week. This whole episode was the Cam cheat code of the week. Truth be told, I didn't actually have a Cam cheat code of the week for you because um, the topics that I talked about you know, were kind of along the lines of advice. So I was gonna come up with one, but I was like, I think this is kind of advice in itself. So what all the topics that I talked about is gonna be the Cam cheat code of the week. And yeah, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know about your struggles, in life or, being a content creator down below in the comments. And if you don't feel comfortable putting it there, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. Excuse me, on my other social media. DM me um, on my KX account or my personal account on Instagram or whatever. And yeah, I'd be up for a chat. So let me know. But yeah, that's gonna bring this episode to a close, y'all. I think it's around 30 minutes. So look at that. Perfect timing for this episode of Camp Chronicles. Is there any other announcements? I'm trying to think anything else I had to talk to you all about this week. Um, like I said, content's coming end of July, 29, 6 that's coming on KX channel. Gonna be doing some vlogs, so hopefully you all would enjoy those. Um, yeah, I don't think there's anything else. But we're gonna have some cool guests, of course, as always. Coming up in the week of July. Hopefully, some different perspectives. Not that we haven't had different perspectives, but just some even more interesting perspectives that we can get on certain things and different paths in life. So I'm thrilled and I'm excited for the coming guests. I don't know exactly who they're going to be, but out of the pool of people that I'm going to choose from and our potential guests, I think you're going to enjoy it. Whoever has the available schedule to come on the podcast. But with all that being said, man, I appreciate you watching to the end. I appreciate y'all that be rocking with me on these personal podcasts, man. I hope I am giving you some value or just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just something soothing to listen to on the way home because this microphone sounds great. But um, make sure to leave a like down below on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy this content. If this is your first video that you're watching on this channel, definitely go check out some other videos before you subscribe. And I want you to subscribe because you actually enjoy the content and that you feel that it adds value to yourself, or maybe it makes you laugh. I don't really say too many funny things, but um, yeah, I want you to just subscribe because I told you. That's why I don't tell you to subscribe at the beginning of these videos. I probably have once or twice, so yeah, definitely call me out, clip it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this podcast, man. I hope you enjoyed your Sunday. If you're listening to this Sunday that I posted, and if not, probably listening to this early in the week. So have a great week, and I'll be back next week with another banger of the podcast. All right, y'all. Peace out.